Keith Murphy and the band of Amber. Welcome.
Words were composed by Spencer the Rover, who traveled in Great Britain and most parts of Wales. He had been so reducing, which caused great confusion. That was the reason he went on the roam. In Yorkshire near Rotherham, he had been on his ramble. Being weary of traveling, he sat down to rest. At the foot of yonder mountain, there runs a clear fountain. With bread and cold water, he himself did refresh. And it tasted more sweeter than the gold he had wasted, more sweeter than honey, and it gave more content. But the thought of his babies lamenting their father brought tears to his eyes, which made him lament. And the night fast approaching, to the woods he resorted, with woodbine and ivy his bed for to make. There he dreamt about sighing, lamenting and crying. Go home to your family and rambling forsake. On the 5th of November, I've a reason to remember, when first he arrived home to his family and wife. They stood so surprised, which first he arrived, to behold such a stranger once more in their sight. And his children came around him with their prittle-prattling stories, with their prittle-prattling stories to drive care away. But now they're united like birds of one feather, like bees in one hive, contented they'll be. And now he's a-living in his cottage contented, with woodbine and roses growing all around the door. He's as happy as those that's got thousands of riches. Contented he'll stay and go rambling no more. Thank you. Thanks so much. That song is called Spencer the Rover. It's a classic English folk song. It's a song that I associate very strongly with my dearly departed friends John Roberts and Tony Barron, who were iconic singers here, big part of the Vermont folk scene. Yes, people familiar with their music? Tony passed away a few years ago. John, just in February. They've gone to sing in a heavenly choir, I believe, or maybe running a monthly pub sing upstairs. I don't know. But a great legacy of music. We're going to do a bunch of stuff from Newfoundland, which is where I'm from, and this is a song called The Land of Fish and Seals. Let sunny India her wealth proclaim, her gorgeous glowing skies, her silken stores and golden veins, and flowers of every dye. We envy not her gaudy show, where death insidious steals. For wealth's bright diamond deck our brow in the land of fish and seal. Let Italy and France and Spain their vine-clad valleys praise. Let Greece and Rome take up the strain and sing the bygone days of classic fame and glorious names, which fame's loud trumpet reveals. But we boast not of our past glories in the land of fish and seal. No great immortal names are ours, whose deeds our annals trace. No sunny skies, nor golden mines, nor vines our valleys grace. But yet our ice-girt dial can claim the true, the brave, the leal. For slave and tyrant we disdain in the land of fish and seal. And we boast not of our past glories, but of our living brave, who the frozen ocean fearless tread and skim the angry waves. We envy not her gaudy show, where death insidious steals. For wealth's bright diamond deck our brow in the land of fish and seal. May plenty cheer our hardy sons, and fortune on them smile. If milk and honey are not ours, may we have lots of oil. It'll make each face shine bright with joy, each bosom grateful feel, and bring contentment, joy, and peace in the land of fish and seals. It'll make each face shine bright with joy, each bosom grateful feel, and bring contentment, joy, and peace in the land of fish and seals. So that was actually a poem that I found years ago in Newfoundland, The Land of Fish and Seals. And it had been written by this woman named Margaret Peace in the 1840s. Margaret had moved to Newfoundland from Scotland with her family. And she wrote that poem, which is kind of like this sort of homage to the people of Newfoundland, kind of being very sort of courageous and a lot of fortitude, working in very difficult conditions, particularly in the fishery in Newfoundland. Margaret and her family didn't stay in Newfoundland. In the 1860s, they emigrated to New Zealand. try their luck there. I found the poem, I set it to music, and I recorded it, and it became the title track of one of my solo albums, The Land of Fish and Seals. And then early in the pandemic, I got an email from a woman in New Zealand who said that she was the great-great-granddaughter of Margaret Peace. And she had discovered my music online, and she was delighted to know that Margaret's poetry was still out there and being enjoyed. About 3 months later, I get another email from another woman in New Zealand who says that she is the great-great-granddaughter of Margaret Peace, et cetera, et cetera. And it's funny because the second woman makes no mention of the first woman. It turns out they didn't know each other. They were from different branches of the family. They were living in different parts of New Zealand. And they just both happened to be interested in the story of Margaret Peace. So I did what every Canadian is trained to do in this situation. I called the CBC. And I was actually in Newfoundland at the time. And so we had an interview on the radio. I had to get up very early in the morning. They had to stay up late at night to be able to do this. And that was the first time that those two women had ever talked. So it was a really fun thing for me to feel like in the folk process, I brought these two branches of the family together. And now if you go to New Zealand, there are statues of me all across the country. So just watch for those.
He's huge in New Zealand.
We're going to do another song from Newfoundland. This was a classic old song called A Great Big Sea Hove in Long Beach. Well, a great big sea hove in Long Beach, a right fall, the diddle-di-do. A great big sea hove in Long Beach, and Granny Snook, she lost her speech to me, right fall, diddle-fall day. Well, a great big sea hove in the harbor, right fall, the diddle-di-do. A great big sea hove in the harbor, and hove right up in Kehoe's parlour to me, right fall, diddle-fall day. Oh dear mother, I wants a sack, right fall, the diddle-di-do. Oh dear mother, I wants a sack with beads and buttons all down the back to me, right fall, diddle-fall day. And me boot is broke, me frock is tore, right fall, the diddle-di-do. Me boot is broke, me frock is tore, and Georgie Snooks I do adore to me, right fall, diddle-fall day. But fish is low and flour is high, right fall, the diddle-di-do. Fish is low and flour is high, so Georgie Snooks he can't divide to me, right fall, diddle-fall day. But he'll have me in the fall, right fall, the diddle-di-do. And if he don't, I'll hoist my sail and say goodbye to old Canale to me, right fall, diddle-fall day. Da-dee-dum, da-da-dee-da-da, da-dee-dum, da-dee-dum, da-da-da-dee-da, 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 da-dee-dum. Da-dee-dum, da-da-da-dee-da, da-dee-dum, 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 Da-dum, da-da-da-dee-da, da-dee-dum. Da-dum, da-da-da-dee-da, well, a great big sea hove in Long Beach, a right follow fall, the diddle-di-do. Great big sea hove in Long Beach, and Granny Snook, she lost her speech to me, right fall, diddle-fall down. I was interested in the idea of songwriting a couple of years ago. I hadn't really done songwriting, and I wanted to write something kind of in a traditional style. And I was having trouble with it. And but I decided ultimately I was going to use this compositional technique. It's an old technique. It was used by all the most famous composers. Beethoven, Mozart used it. It's a little too complicated for me to get into right now, but it's called plagiarism. And so there was a song that I was singing, an older English song, that was about, it was a sort of a coming of winter song, and it was kind of asking people to be, generous towards those less fortunate. And at the end of the song, there was this great line that was, and the rich will lie down with the poor, which is just a reminder to not hold on to your material wealth, to share it, because in the end, when we're all lying out in the grave, we're all the same. You don't get to take your money with you. The rich will lie down with the poor, and I thought, if I could take that line and I'll use that as kind of a more prominent part of a song. I bet I could make a lot of money from a song like that. So I wrote this song called Pharaoh. I haven't made the money yet. By the way, CDs are for sale after the show, so visit the CD table. It's called Pharaoh. On the burning sands of Egypt, the Pharaoh's tomb is cold. Cold comfort to old Ramses' arm, his jewels and his gold. And the one who toiled beneath him in bonds he earned to shed, enjoys an equal freedom in the land of the dead. And the rich will lie down with the poor. Yes, the rich will lie down with the poor. And the mighty kings of England, with their furs and with their crowns, they shiver as they tremble and they moulder in the ground. And the sailor killed in battle, pressed into the royal fleet, lies as well upon the ocean floor, 200 fathoms deep. And the rich will lie down with the poor. Yes, the rich will lie down with the poor. And the rich will lie down with the poor. Yes, the rich will lie down with the poor. The dust of old Napoleon does mingle in the air, with the armies he commanded, and the ribbons they did wear. For when you've gone to ashes and your worldly fortunes fled, it matters not the monument that stands above your head, and the rich will lie down with the poor. Yes, the rich will lie down with the poor, and the rich will lie down with the poor. Yes, the rich will lie down with the poor. Another singer who I have always loved is this Scottish singer, Archie Fisher, great traditional singer, yes, familiar to many of you. And Archie sings a lot of very traditional songs, but he wrote a great song back in the 80s about the demise of the small boat fishery in Scotland, and it became a folk classic, The Final Trawl. And I heard the song in the late 80s when the same thing was happening in Newfoundland, when small inshore fishermen were just not catching enough fish and were not making payments on their boats and losing their boats and losing their jobs as fishermen. And it was just such a powerful song, especially at that time, I think, for me and for a lot of people in all these places, in Newfoundland and in Scotland as well. So I'm going to do The Final Trawl. There's a recurring line in the song, and sing heave away, me laddie-o. So if you're inclined to join in, go right ahead. Now it's 3 long years since we made her pay, and sing all away, my laddie-o. And the owners say that she's had her day, and sing all away, my laddie-o. So heave away for the final trawl, and sing all away, my laddie-o. It's an easy pull, for the catch is small, and sing all away, my laddie-o. So stow your gear, lads, and batten down, and sing all away, my laddie-o. And I'll take the wheel, lads, and turn her round, and sing all away, my laddie-o. And we'll join the Venture and the Morning Star, and sing all away, my laddie-o. Riding high and empty towards the bar, and sing all away, my laddie-o. For I'd rather beach her on the scary rock, and sing all away, my laddie-o, than to see her torched in the breaker's dock, and sing all away, my laddie-o. When I die, you can stow me down and sing all the way, my laddie-o, in a rusty hold where the breakers pound, and sing all the way, my laddie-o. And we'll make the haven in the fiddler's green, and sing all the way, my laddie-o, where the grub is good and the bunks are clean, and sing all the way, my laddie-o. For I fished a lifetime, boy and man, and sing all the way, my laddie-o, and the final trawl scarcely makes the cran, and sing all the way, my laddie-o, and sing all the way, my laddie-o. It was Anand Nayak here on electric guitar.
Thank you.
On drums, we have Richie Barchet. And from Marlborough, Vermont, Ty Gibbons on acoustic bass. As Beth mentioned, I started a project, made a recording a couple of years ago, largely in collaboration with Anand, sort of working on this idea of doing some of these traditional songs with electric guitar, bass, and drums. And I'm just delighted to get a chance to play with these guys and do some shows and be here in Lincoln, Vermont. So thanks for coming out tonight. We're going to do a few songs from that recording, which is called Bright as Amber. And this one is an old, a Newfoundland version of an old song called Tarry Trousers. And it's a mother and a daughter. The mother's trying to tell the daughter that it's time to get married, and she's trying to like set her up with who she thinks would be a good match. And the daughter is like, okay, well, but I really want to marry a sailor. And the mother's like, sailors are bad business. You want to marry a farmer. And the daughter says, come on, Mom, I don't want to marry a farmer. Because I guess for her, farmers are not cool. Sailors are cool, farmers are not cool. Anyway, that's not a great theme of a song in Vermont. I understand that. It's a more popular song in Newfoundland. But let's just take it kind of in the more generalized theme of feisty, independent daughters, shall we? Tarry Trousers. As I roved out of a fine summer's evening to view the fields and take the air, it's there I spied a tender mother talking to her daughter dear. Daughter, daughter, I'd have you marry, no more to lead a sweet single life. Mother, mother, I'd rather tarry, be some brave young sailor's wife. A sailor's thoughts are always to wander, to some foreign country he will go. He'll cause you to sigh, cause you sorrow, he will prove your overthrow. You would have me wed with some farmer, rob me of my joy and delight. But give me the boy with the tarry trousers, shines in my eyes like the diamonds bright. Dress myself in sailor's clothing, to some foreign country I will go. And when we're in the height of battle, I'll protect my Jamie dear. Maidens, now pay attention, if the sailor's your delight. Ne'er be forced to wed with some other for all the gold and the diamonds bright.
What would be the Vermont equivalent? It would be like, I want to marry a skier? Maybe? Is that the equivalent? Skiers and sailors?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Or a guy who sells ice cream. I don't. To find my Tom of Bedlam, 10,000 miles I'll travel. Mad Maudlin goes on dirty toes to save her shoes from gravel. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mon. I now repent that ever poor Tom was so disdained. My wits are lost since him I crossed, and thus I now go chaining. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mun. I went to Pluto's kitchen to bake some food one morning. There I found souls piping hot, all on the spit a turning. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mon. There I took up a cauldron where boiled 10,000 harlots. Though full of flame, I drank the same to the health of all such varlets. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mun. My staff has murdered giants, my bag a long knife carries, to cut mince pies from children's thighs with which to feed the fairies. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mun. A spirit hot as lightning did on my journey guide me. The sun did shake and the pale moon quake as soon as e'er they spied me. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mun. So drink to Tom of Bedlam, go fill the seasoned barrels. I'll drink it all well brewed with gall, and more than drunk I'll quarrel. Still I'll sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys, Bedlam boys are bonny, and they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor mun.
Thank you. I'd just like to take a moment while Keith is tuning to fill the space. But actually, I really want to say something about Beth, which is that I've had the pleasure of playing in Vermont for many years with my band Ronnie Arbo and Daisy Mayhem. And thank you. We love playing in Vermont, and I feel like Beth and everybody here and this series and the spirit that you do things is really at the core of what I love about playing in Vermont, which is just, it's so whole, you know? It's like every part of it is done with care and consideration and love, and I just want to say thanks. Thank you, Beth. Never has it felt more important than right now.
And it was such an honor for Beth to reach out and be excited and enthused about having us come. So, thanks specifically for that. This is another song. This is a song that was collected in Vermont from a family of singers who lived in Dover, near Brattleboro, where I live, the Atwood family, in the early 1900s. And the songs were collected and they were published in a small music collection in 1919. But the songs that of that family had sort of largely kind of gone out of public awareness, I guess you could say. But then in the 1960s, another folk music icon in Vermont, Margaret MacArthur, take your time, that's good. Margaret MacArthur heard about this family, heard about the earlier book that had been published, and tracked down one of the descendants of the family
and then transcribed more songs from that man, Fred Atwood. Margaret MacArthur is the grandmother-in-law of our bass player, Ty Gibbons. So it's a pleasure to have that connection in the band. And Ty did a lot of playing with Margaret as well. So this is one of the songs that Margaret got from this family, and it's one of my favorite songs. A song that I recorded initially with Tony Barron, who I mentioned earlier. Tony and I did an album of songs just from that family of singers from Dover. And the song is about the character Reynardine, kind of an infamous character in folk song. A man kind of mysterious, potentially supernatural, some supernatural powers, and a little bit dangerous, particularly around young women. Young women are kind of, have been warned about this character. Luckily, in this particular version of the song, nothing terrible happens, but in other versions, they do. But this is a family version that we're going to do for you now. So this is the story of Reynardine, and the name Reynardine had morphed over the years because in French, you may know the word renard means fox, and in certain versions of the folktale, he's even sort of possibly half man, half fox. So this is the tale of Reynardine. And as I rambled 2 miles below Pomeroy, I met a farmer's daughter all on the mountains high. I said, my dearest maiden, your beauty shines most clear upon these lonely mountains. I'm glad to meet you here. I'm glad to meet you here. I'm glad to meet you here. Upon these lonely mountains, I'm glad to meet you here. She said, young man, be civil, my company forsake. For to my great opinion, I fear you are a rake. And if my parents this should know, my life they would destroy. For the keeping of your company, all on the mountains high, all on the mountains high, all on the mountains high. For the keeping of your company, all along the mountains high. This pretty little thing, she fell into a maze, with eyes as bright as amber, upon me she did gaze. Her ruby lips and pearly cheeks, they lost their former dye. And then she fell into my arms, all on the mountains high, all on the mountains high, all on the mountains high. Then she fell into my arms, all on the mountains high. I had not kissed her once or twice when she came to again. Then modestly she said to me, "Pray, sir, what is your name? If you go to yonder forest, my castle there you'll find. 'Tis wrote in ancient history, my name is Reynardine. My name is Reynardine. My name is Reynardine. 'Tis wrote in ancient history, my name is Reynardine."
said, my dearest maiden, don't let your parents know. For if you do, they'll cause my ruin and fatal overthrow. But when you come to look for me, perhaps you'll not me find. I'll be in my castle, enquire for Reynardine. Enquire for Reynardine, enquire for Reynardine. I'll be in my castle, enquire for Reynardine. So come all you pretty fair maidens, take my advice by me. Be sure you quit night walking and shun bad company. For if you do, you'll surely rue until the day you die. And beware of meeting Reynardine all on the mountains high, all on the mountains high, all on the mountains high. Beware of meeting Reynardine all on the mountains high.
All right, we're going to play one more set for you, and then we'll take a little break. I know there's lots of good things downstairs. There's some good things upstairs, also at the table, the CD table. So please come back and have a peruse of the CDs and my tune book. And so we're going to end off this set with a little instrumental set that we've just put together, sort of a jig set, a slip jig and 2 jigs. I wrote the first and the last tunes, and the middle one is a traditional Irish tune. So we're gonna debut our little jig set here for you tonight. Thank you. We'll see you after the break. Well, for a couple of minutes, it's just going to be this guy. I'm going to do a song from Newfoundland. I was just talking to somebody in the break about folk song collectors who were very active in Newfoundland starting in the early 1900s. And this was a song that was collected by a woman from England, Maud Karpelis, who came to Newfoundland in the fall of 1929 and the summer of 1930, and found boat rides all around the coast of Newfoundland, introducing herself to singers and transcribing old folk songs. And this is one that she found in Bonavista Bay in 1929, Kind Fortune. One evening in May, 12 young maidens went out for to play. A regiment of soldiers they chanced to pass by, and on one of those ladies the drummer cast an eye, and it's all kind fortune. Says this little drummer to his comrades, one of those ladies my heart she has won. Saying one of those ladies my heart she has won. And if she denies me I'm surely undone, and it's all kind fortune. So early next morning this drummer arose, and he's dressed himself up in his best suit of clothes, with his watch in his fob and his sword in his hand. And he went to the lady right down to the strand, and it's all kind fortune. Well, he took off his hat and he made a low bow, saying, "Miss, I ask pardon for making so free. Dear honorable lady, my heart you have won. And if you deny me, I'm surely undone, and it's all kind fortune." Oh, silly little drummer, oh, what do you mean? My father's a captain of honor and fame, and I am his daughter, though dearest to thee. Did you think I'd bind myself down to slavery? 'Twould be all hard fortune. Well, my soul will go quickly to heaven or hell. For my innocent blood I surely will spill. 'Tis with my broadsword that I will strike, and I'll cut down the innocent threads of my life, and it's all hard fortune. Come back, little drummer, I'm here at your will. 'Tis a pity your innocent blood for to spill. Come saddle up your horse and to Plymouth we'll go, and it's there we'll get married in spite of our foe, and it's all kind fortune. And when we are married and all past and been, well, what will they say but we follow the drum, and it's all kind fortune. I was talking about songwriting earlier, my foray into trying to write a song kind of in the traditional vein. One of the great songwriters from England, many of you will know, Richard Thompson, a guy deeply immersed in traditional music and sort of segued that into a very prolific and wonderful career as a songwriter. And sometimes it's even like a little kind of hard to kind of pinpoint what the traditional element is that's kind of like infused some of his songs, but I sort of feel like it's there. This is one of his classic songs, Bee's Wing. Well, I was just 19 when I came to town. They called it the summer of love. They were burning babies and burning flags. It was the hawks against the doves. And I took a job at the steamy down on Cauldron Street, and I fell in love with a factory girl. She was working next to me. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing. So fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, and she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. Brown hair zigzag around her face, and a look of half surprise. Like a fox caught in the headlights, there was animal in her eyes. And she said, young man, oh can't you see, I'm not the factory kind. And if you don't take me out of here, I'll surely lose my mind. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing. So fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, and she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Well, we bust around the market towns, and we picked fruit down in Kent. We could tinker lamps and pots and knives wherever we went. And I said, you know, we could settle down, get a few acres dug, a fire in the hearth, and babies on the rug. And she said, young man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You might be lord of half the world, but you won't own me as well. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing. So fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, and she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Well, we was working down the Gower, and the work was pretty good. But she thought maybe we shouldn't wait for the frost, and I thought maybe we should. And we was drinking more in those days, and tempers reached a pitch. And like a fool I let her go, all with a rambling hitch. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing. So fine a breath of wind might blow her away. And she was a lost child, and she was running wild. She
said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Well, the last I heard, she was sleeping rough down on the Derby beat. A white horse in her pocket and a wolfhound at her feet. And they say she even married once a man named Ronnie Brown. But even a gypsy caravan was too much settling down. And they say your flower has faded now, hard weather and hard booze. But maybe that's just the price you pay for the chains that you refuse. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, and I miss her more than words could ever say. And if I could just taste some of her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, I wouldn't want her any other way. Thank you. Please welcome back Anand, Richie, and Ty. Well, I think it's about time for a pirate song. What do you think of that, guys? I wasn't expecting that.
Hoping for it.
Look ahead, look astern, look the weather and the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to lee, sailing down along the coast of Barbary. Oh, are you a pirate or man of war? Cried we. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Oh, I am not a pirate, but a man of war, cried he, sailing down along the coast of Barbary. Then back up your topsails and heave your vessel to. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. For we've got some letters to be carried home by you, sailing down along the coast of Barbary. We'll back up our topsails and heave our vessel to. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we, but only in some harbor and along the side of you, sailing down along the coast of Barbary.
So broadside to broadside we fought all on the main. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we, until at last the frigate shot the pirates' mast away. Sailing down along the coast of Barbary. For quarters, the saucy pirate cried. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. The quarters that we gave them was to sink them in the tide. Sailing down along the coast of Barbary.
I always think that song makes me think of this is a kind of a weird local to me story that I'm going to tell, which might not matter to you guys. But back down, I lived in Northampton, Mass, and there used to be over in Hadley on the other side of the river, there was a credit union called AARHA, and I have no idea what it stands for or stood for. It's gone now. But when my kids were younger, we called it the Pirate Bank. Arrgh.
There's a lot of banks that could use that title.
And it happened to be just down the street from an old church that had been converted to a vodka distillery, which we called the Vodka Church. So there was the Pirate Bank and the Vodka Church. And they wonder why kids are so messed up these days.
Anand works for the tourist board of Northampton. That's why we give him these spots in the show. We're going to do a song that was collected in Nova Scotia. You guys know, do you have a sense, a picture of, Eastern Canada? So Newfoundland, we're the furthest out there. So Nova Scotia is the next one over. So in Newfoundland, we used to refer to Nova Scotia as Western Canada. But a great song tradition there also. This is a song that was collected by a woman named Helen Creighton. When first to this country I came as a stranger, I placed my affection on a handsome young girl. She being young and tender, her waist slim and slender, she appeared like an angel or some gypsy queen. On the banks of the river, where first I beheld her, she appeared like an angel or some Grecian queen. Her eyes shone like diamonds, her hair gently waving, her cheeks red as roses or blood on the snow. It was her cruel father who caused this disturbance, because that she was of a higher degree. But now I'm determined, all for to gain her, although I belong to a low family. She cried, "Charming Johnny, don't be melancholy. There is never no other my favor will gain. There's no other creature will dare gain my favor. river. On the banks of the Bourbon, I'll wander with Well, now that I've gained her, my bride I will make her. I'll put rings on her fingers, gold drops in her ears, with diamonds and pearls. I'll deck you, my brown girl, with all sorts of grandeur. I'll deck you, my dear. My name is Delaney, no blemish can shame me. I might have had riches had I stayed at home. Through drinking and gambling, night walking and courting, was the cause of my ruin and absence from home. Was the cause of my ruin and absence from home. I hadn't really thought about this before. We're going to do this song from the mid-1800s, very famous, one of the most famous French-Canadian folk songs, called Un Canadien errant, which is a story of someone who is going into exile, kind of in the wake of one of the rebellions against the English government. So they're fleeing into exile, and they come to the U.S. That's probably not going to happen again, I don't think. It's not going to work that way. But it's a story of someone who's like leaving home, leaving Canada, saying goodbye to their family and homeland, probably for the last time. So it's a very, very well-known, very well-loved song, Un Canadien errant. Un Canadien errant, banni de ses foyers. Un Canadien errant, banni de ses foyers. Parcourait en pleurant des pays étrangers, parcourait en pleurant des pays étrangers. Un jour triste et pensif, assis au bord des flots, un jour triste et pensif, assis au bord des flots, au courant fugitif, il adressa ces mots. Au courant fugitif, il adressa ces mots. Si tu vois mon pays malheureux, si tu vois mon pays malheureux, va dire à mes amis
que je me souviens de. Va dire à mes amis que je me souviens de. Aux jours si pleins d'apam, vous êtes disparu. Aux jours si pleins d'apam, vous êtes disparu. Et ma patrie, hélas, je ne la verrai plus. Et ma patrie est là, je ne la verrai plus.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, we're going to play just one more song, unless it goes really well. Once again, electric guitar, Anna Nyack.
Thank you.
On the drums, Richie Barchet. On the acoustic bass, Ty Gibbons.
And if you think of it, we'll be playing in Putney next weekend, right?
Yep, next Friday. So if you have any friends
At
down
Next
that way.
Stage. I mean, we know how all you Vermonters know each other, right? So we're counting on you.
Thanks so much for coming out. It's a real pleasure to play for you. In reality, like it's a band that doesn't perform a whole lot, so you know every one of these shows that we get to do, it's a real special thing, and we've really enjoyed playing in this space. We were just talking backstage. This is probably like the nicest sound, the nicest ambience that we've gotten to play in. So thank you so much for Beth and Mark and Sean and all the volunteers. Really very lovely, lovely thing you've got going on here. So lucky you. So we're going to close out with another song collected in Newfoundland. Anybody connected with the contradance scene might know a New England contradance caller, Lisa Greenleaf from Boston. I was working with Lisa Greenleaf years ago, and Lisa very casually let it drop that her grandmother is Elizabeth Greenleaf, who was one of the most famous folk song collectors in Newfoundland. Her grandmother went to Newfoundland in 1919 and started collecting folk songs. And this is a song that came from Lisa's grandmother's folk songs and ballads of Newfoundland. So it's called The Green Bushes. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next time. As I was a-walking for pleasure one day, for sweet recreation one evening in May, I spied a fair damsel, and sweeter sang she, down by the green bushes where he thinks he'll meet me. Well, I stepped up to her and this I did say, how far do you wander going this way? I'm waiting for my true love, this damsel did cry, down by the green bushes where he thinks he'll meet me. Well, I'll buy you a nice beaver and a nice silky gown, buy you a nice undercoat right down to the ground. And if you'll prove loyal and constant to me, forsake your own true love and married will be. Well, I don't want your beaver nor none of your clothes, for I never was so poor as to marry for those. But if you'll prove loyal and constant to me, I'll forsake my own true love and married will be. Oh, let us be going from yonder those trees. Oh, let us be going, kind sir, if you please. For yonder my true love is waiting for me, down by the green bushes where he thinks he'll meet me. And when he arrived there, he found she was gone. He stood like a poor lamb that's lost and forgone. She's away with some other and forsaken me. Here's adieu, you green bushes, forever's ending. I'm like a poor schoolboy that spends time in play, and ever was so foolish to be led astray. But now, you false woman, you'll scorn me no more. Here's adieu, you green bushes, it's time to give o'er. Thank you very much.
I'm thinking now that maybe you should all come down to Putney.
A lot of songs written about Napoleon Bonaparte in the 19th century. A lot of different aspects of his career, the battles, but also his exile on the island of St. Helena. Because when he was defeated for the last time, he was sent to this tiny, remote, desolate island halfway between South America and Africa. And that was a very poetic image for songwriters, this once very, very powerful man living out his days in isolation. So I take this as a song of hope. I know a lot of you were making your voices heard earlier today. You can sing this chorus, and he may list to the wind on the great Mount Diana, while alone he remains on the Isle of St. Helena. The chorus is this: and he may list to the wind on the great Mount Diana. Try that. He may list. And he may list to the wind on the great Mount Diana, while alone he remains on the Isle of St. Helena. While alone he remains on
the Isle of Saint Helena. He may list, and he may list to the wind on the great mound. What alone he remains on the Isle of Saint Helena. Bonaparte is away from his wars and his fighting. He has gone to a place he can never delight in. He may list to the wind on the great Mount Diane. What alone he remains on the Isle of Saint. Oh, Louisa, she weeps for her husband departed, and she dreams when she sleeps, and she wakes broken-hearted. And he may list to the wind on the great Mount Diana. What alone he remains on the Isle of Saint Helena. And oft he walks to the sea and looks over the water, thinking on his victories and how fleeting they all were. He may list to the wind on the great Mount Diana. What alone he remains on the Isle of Saint Helena. Long years they kept him there on that wild island prison. Then he bowed down to death, that lonely conqueror of nations. He may list to the wind on the great Mount Diana. What alone the Isle of Saint Helena. Last chance. He lays to the wind on the great Mount Diana. What alone he remains on the Isle of Saint Helena. While alone he remains on the Isle of Saint Helena. Lovely. Thank you.